of Mamaroneck making progress on property reassessment.
Dredging Mamaroneck Harbor will have an interview.
Congressional election debate canceled for this area.
Mamaroneck Town denies police racism charge.
A reward posted to catch a thief.
A look at Fire Prevention Day.
And a check on area pumpkin prices. It's all here on this edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. Welcome to Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News for the third week of October, 1998. I'm Roger Norum.
And I'm Christina Bolger. Our top story: Mamaroneck Town is doing its homework on reassessing property values. Details from Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Sven Oehme.
Mamaroneck Town is continuing with its effort to reassess the property values in its jurisdiction. According to the town board schedule, local residents may see changes to their tax payments in 2001. Currently, a revaluation committee is compiling a report that is scheduled to be presented to the town board in November. This will be followed by public hearings and a vote in January on whether to continue with the property reassessment review. The last revaluation took place in 1968. In 1996, a county-wide plan to reassess property values was only stopped by Governor Pataki's veto. According to Mamaroneck Town Administrator Stephen Altieri, as quoted in the Journal News, the town has been losing about $2 million a year from the tax rolls since 1990 because of tax challenges in the courts. Each year, about $300,000 are put in the budget for tax refunds. In case the town board votes in favor of a reassessment plan in January, a consultant will be hired to work with the town assessor to review all of the about 8,500 parcels in the town and update the tax rolls. Once the new tax rolls have been completed, the town board will have to adopt the new tax rolls. This will not happen before the year 2000, and new tax rates as a result of the tax reassessment will not take effect until the year 2001.
33-year-old black court officer from Mount Vernon is suing the town of Mamaroneck in a civil rights action, charging racism in an incident in which a town police officer pulled his handgun on Victor Watson on the night of July 17th. Lawyers for the town say that Watson set up a scenario where police would confront him in a way that he could sue the town. It all started when Victor Watson was reportedly wearing a hooded sweatshirt with the hood up while shopping at the Gap store the night of July 17. And police say he spent more than an hour in the store acting suspiciously. He was questioned by town police, who stopped Watson near the store asking for ID, and then followed him as he shopped at two other stores. And then Watson was confronted again. That led to one of the town policemen drawing his weapon. He stated he thought that Watson may have had a weapon at the time. Town Supervisor Elaine Price is quoted in the Journal News saying the police acted appropriately. A lawsuit has been filed in U.S. District Court in White Plains. Stay tuned on this one.
Notice to boat owners who have their boats in Mamaroneck Harbor. You better have your boats out of the water by November 1st. The reason? It's not just the end of the boating season, it's dredging is about to begin. Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News spoke with John Zapala, the assistant to the harbor master. Tell me, when do the boats have to be out of the harbor?
By November 1st. That's really the local ordinance to do it, but because of dredging this year, it's very important that that does take place.
They absolutely have to be out by the 1st.
With the dredging going ahead, yes.
If they're not out by the 1st, will there be any fines given?
That I can't answer.
Okay, now...
That will have to be to the harbor master in the village.
Okay, tell me about the dredging. What does that consist of?
We have a very unique harbor. There are a lot of boats in the harbor, but because of sedimentation, the harbor's filling up. And now at low tide, on our main docks, on the ramp and in the East Basin, West Basin by the pump-out stations, there's only 3 foot of water. In fact, at one point, if you have a very low tide, and you have strong winds keeping the tide out, we actually only had 1 foot off the East Basin dock. Wow. So it's showing there's a need to remove the sediment and bring it out to where it can be disposed of.
How deep will they be dredging?
I believe 10 feet in some areas.
10 feet. And what will they do with everything they dredge up?
All right, all the sediment they take, right now they're looking for contractors to take this and move it out up to Long Island Sound and probably up to Bridgeport. This will have to be transported.
What will the benefits be from this dredging?
Well, it'll be increased area for boaters. Boating is a big industry in our harbor. It brings a lot of people who are interested in fishing, recreation, sailing, swimming. The beach will also be dredged. Just that whole idea of the recreation and the improvement of the sound will give it a more aesthetic appeal.
So hopefully we'll expect maybe some more boats to enjoy.
That could be very possible, because with dredging we'll be able to widen the area.
Okay, John, well, thank you very much for coming in. We appreciate it, and make sure the boats are out by November 1st.
All right, I thank you.
Thank you.
The word from Louise Perez, the president of the Larchmont-Mamaroneck League of Women Voters, was she was very disappointed that the debate scheduled for last Wednesday night, October 14, had to be canceled. A congressional and state assembly election debate sponsored by the league. The main reason? None of the 3 minority party candidates opposing this area's representative in the Congress, Democrat Nita Lowey, responded by the deadline date to an invitation from the league for the debate. And there is no Republican candidate running against Lowey. So Representative Lowey sent a note declining to debate because there is no major opposition to her. Similarly, State Assemblyman Ron Tochi has no Republican opposition and is only opposed by the Right to Life candidate. As it stands now, there still will be a debate on October 29th for the 36th District State Senate seat. That will be held in the New Rochelle Library and will have Democrat incumbent State Senator Susie Oppenheimer in debate with Republican challenger John Verney. Also, Right to Life candidate Paul Kieran will be in the October 29th debate. Christina?
For a look at what's happening in the Mamaroneck area schools, here's Larchmont-Mamaroneck Community News reporter Glenna Gray.
The calendar for the Board of Education sessions is out. October 21st, November 4th, November 18th will be elementary parent-teacher conferences. November 3rd will be a meeting with the Parent-Teacher Council. Congratulations are in order for several Mamaroneck students. 25 have been chosen to perform as members of area all-state music groups on November 20th at SUNY Purchase, also known as Purchase College. There is a scholar finalist in the National Hispanic Recognition Program. 66 students have been named as Advanced Placement Scholars. 29 qualified for the Advanced Placement Scholar with Distinction Award. They earned 3.5 on all AP exams taken. 10 students qualify for the Advanced Placement Scholar with Honor Awards, and 27 qualify for Advanced Placement Scholar Award. 5 students received National Merit Scholarship semifinalist positions. 23 seniors are commended students in the National Merit Scholarship Program. Congratulations to all of you students, and keep on going.
French American School having a book fair. Larchmont-Mamaroneck Community News reporter Amy Schachtel has the story.
Bonsoir, or good evening. For 4 days in November, the annual book fair is on at the French American School of New York, located in Larchmont at 111 Larchmont Avenue. From November 9th through the 12th, the Parents Association will be organizing this event. Books for all ages will be available. Audiobooks, comic books, mysteries, cookbooks, and dictionaries will be for sale. There will be more than 4,000 new books for sale, 75% in French and 25% in English. All books are reasonably priced. Once again, please take note. The place, the French-American School. The date, November 9th through the 12th. For Larchmont-Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Amy Schachtel. Au revoir.
A $5,000 reward is being offered for information leading to the arrest of a person responsible for mugging a Mamaroneck woman and stealing her purse. The incident happened September 19th on Chatsworth Avenue. After knocking the woman down to the ground, the purse snatcher ran north toward Washington Square. The purse reportedly contained $180. The reward is being offered by Westchester Crime Stoppers. And if you have any information on the September 19 incident, you're asked to call 1-800-898-TIPS. That's 1-800-898-TIPS.
News from the Larchmont Library. Larchmont-Mamaroneck Community News reporter Glenna Gray gives us a reading.
On Wednesday, October 21st, Dr. Herbert Nieberg will discuss the newest findings related to the causes, diagnosis, and management of attention deficit disorder. The presentation will be at the Larchmont Library Children's Room, 7:30 until 9 p.m. Registration is requested. The next week, on Wednesday, the 28th of October, Maddie Frankel will discuss advocacy, nuts and bolts. As the mother of 2 LD children and a specialist in the field, Ms. Frankel has much to discuss. It will be held at the Children's Room, 7:30 until 9 p.m. During the rest of the month, you can come into the library and get materials on AD. For Larchmont-Mamaroneck Community News, I am Glenna Gray.
In case you were wondering what pink collar syndrome is all about, Larchmont-Mamaroneck Community News reporter Amy Schachtel is going to fill you in.
It's not a boys' club anymore. In some Westchester high schools, the issue of gender segregation has come to a head. The students' upcoming job market and career choice have been broadened due to Janice Weinman, Executive Director of the American Association of University Women's Educational Foundation. She states that girls continue to cluster in what we would call pink-collar areas that remain low-paying, such as education, health services, and social services. Boys, on the other hand, are geared towards careers that are more lucrative, such as business management, engineering, and technical fields. Since 1992, girls have made great strides, and reports show numbers of female students have increased in math and science. Locally, we still see both sexes follow traditional career paths. All-male auto repair class is common, and girls dominate child care programs. Donna Garr, who heads the guidance department at a Westchester County high school, has tried to defy the stereotypes by having a female firefighter and a female chemical engineer speak to her students. A current phrase that really applies: girls rule.
Ex-fire captain Kevin Dell and Chief George Harrison demonstrated how a smoke detector works, its importance, and what to do when they hear the sound of an alarm. They show the children a diagram of how to get out of a house should a fire occur and discuss some rules they should always follow, including staying low and to crawl and not to walk. The children got to see what a firefighter looks, sounds, and feels like. Another lesson learned was what to do in the event someone's clothing catches fire: stop, drop, and roll. After a practice fire drill, the children got to stay outside and see what a fire engine looks like close up and how it works, including a demonstration of how high a ladder can climb. We decided to check out some prices on those jack-o'-lanterns. We were curious about how the local nurseries fared compared to grocery stores and supermarkets. First stop was Larchmont Nursery on Boston Post Road, whose pile of pumpkins all had prices written near the stem. Small ones started at $1.50, and others range from $4 to $18. They have a small selection of sugar pumpkins that sell for $1.50 to $3, and mini pumpkins that sell for 99 cents. Decorated pumpkins complete with straw hats, are inside, and they cost between $6 and $20. Other Halloween stuff includes scarecrows and witches between $14.99 and $24.99. Right next door is Tony's Nurseries. There you can choose from a selection that includes sugar pumpkins that run from 35 cents per pound. All other pumpkins are priced at 39 cents per pound. Choose your gem and then carry it to the weigh station. If you're looking for a white pumpkin, you'll find it there. Also, Tony's sells scarecrows, mini pumpkins, and the nursery also sells corn stalks. And there's a small haunted house for the kids where an electric Dracula greets you. In Mamaroneck on Boston Post Road, the largest selection appears to be at Margone's Nurseries, where a regular and sugar pumpkins are 39 cents per pound, and mini gourds run 50 cents each. Margone's provides you with a red wagon while you're shopping. Other decorations include flags and a variety of signs. Beautifully crafted wreaths are inside, and so are a number of scarecrows. And I spoke with a couple of witches while I was there.
Come closer, my dear. If it's your future you seek, will it be good or will it be bleak?
Let's see what the other witch has to say.
Happy Halloween! Let's see. There's eye of newt, liver of muskrat, venom of snake, garlic powder. Delicious, yes, it's my very own chowder.
In Rhinebeck, one of the most decorative displays of pumpkins is outside at the Harrison Avenue farm. They're 39 cents a pound, and the store also stocks scarecrows and other decorations.
Well, I hope my report on pumpkins and Halloween accessories has been helpful and puts you on the path to picking the perfect pumpkin.
And that's it for our 6th program of a new season in our 9th year of doing this show. It's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, and this particular program is for the 3rd week of October, 1998.
If you want to see this news show again, you can. It's on every weekday night at 7 p.m. We record one show each week, and it's replayed on this channel, LMC-TV, Channel 14. And besides 7 p.m. each weekday night, you might catch us around 11 p.m.
Or if you want to request to see it, you can call LMC-TV after 4 in the afternoon during the week at 698-6808. Ask to see the news show. They'll try to put the new show on at a time that's convenient for you.
And this reminder, the program is an all-volunteer effort, and we could use a few more volunteers, either behind the scenes or as a reporter, or maybe you like to shoot video. We need you.
In short, if you want to volunteer to help us put this program on, we have something for you to do. Stop by some Thursday night in the LMC TV studios and see how we do what we do.
The LMC TV studios are in Mamaroneck High School, the Palmer Avenue side, just up the stairs from Walter's Hot Dog Stand. We get started around 7 p.m., and we would love to see you.
Also, if you have any comments or suggestions or some video of an event that you would like us to put on the news show, bring it to the studio or write to us at LMC News, care of LMC TV, 1 Library Lane, Mamaroneck, 10543. Thanks again for watching Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Roger Norum.
And I'm Christina Bolger. We'll see you next time. Have a great week.
And it's only a matter of a few days until we see the great pumpkin making his rounds.
It's almost time to turn the clocks back, too.
It's Halloween week. Some advice for mischief night.
There's a Yankee hangout in Larchmont.
Making plans for the future of Mamaroneck Harbor and boating.
Teaching parents about some dangers of the internet.
Train commuters may have a more convenient exit at Grand Central soon.
Local charity has fundraiser.
Those stories and more on this edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. Hello and welcome to another edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News for Halloween Week 1998. I'm Roger Norum.
And I'm Christina Bolger. Our top story: what happens just before Halloween? The tradition here is Mischief Night. And how do the local police deal with the potential problems? We spoke with Crime Prevention Officer Ron Nunzen of Larchmont Village about the police role.
Mischief Night is the night before Halloween. This year it happens to fall on a Friday, which is going to make it a little more difficult for us in the police agencies locally. Basically, it is celebrated by the teenagers and the young adults in their early 20s. They go out, and it's a night of basically what it says is mischief. We're hoping that we can curtail those activities this year. We will be out enforcing the police department to make sure that everything remains vandal-proof if we can.
Are there anything area residents should do to help in the prevention of being a victim of this mischief?
Oh, absolutely. If area residents see a gang of youths out there, a bunch of people together, please give us a call and we'll try and disperse those youths up. If they see any type of illegal activities, whether it be vandalism, graffiti, or something of that nature, by all means give us a call again too. We're asking all residents and homeowners to keep all their exterior lights on, to keep everything illuminated well. All right, this frequently leads to people dispersing, not hanging around in groups and corners and what have you.
From your past experience, what time does this mischief begin?
It usually starts in early evening hours, I would say, after dinner, normally in the 7 o'clock range, and sometimes it can go, especially on a Friday like it falls this year, it can go out until 12, 1 o'clock, maybe even 2 o'clock in the morning. Weather is a key factor also. If it's overcast and it's cloudy and it's cold and rainy, all right, the kids don't turn out in numbers. If it's a beautiful day and it's warm, they turn out in droves, unfortunately. Okay,
now, if you catch someone in some mischief that's illegal, they will definitely be arrested?
Oh yes, absolutely. We're going to prosecute to the fullest extent of the law. All right, if we do catch anybody that is committing crimes out there. We want to curtail these type of activities. We wish they did not occur. It's really not the way to celebrate Halloween in the Halloween season. Everybody will be prosecuted that is caught committing a crime. If they're underage, youth complaints will be filled out, and we will get their parents to come down. Okay. So we take it pretty serious. Okay, should they call 911 or is there a local police station? Absolutely. Call 911 and dial us on the emergency line. All right, your local police agency. Let us know what's going on. If it's non-emergency and you're just suspicious about, you see 4 or 5 youths walking towards the back of a store or something like that, or you think that they're carrying what appears to be spray paint cans, and call us on our general business numbers. Okay, and let us know. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate the tips. My pleasure. Okay.
So how is Mamaroneck Harbor going to look and deal with boaters as we enter into the next millennium? The village's 7-member Harbor Commission is looking into the subject as we speak. Among the items under study, with 400 boats in slips or at moorings, what sort of regulation is needed? Also, what if someone is or decides to live on their boat while it's parked at or in the harbor? The key question, what constitutes living on the boat in the harbor? 1 night, 3 nights, a week, longer? The Harbor Commission is studying language to present to the village board. The next meeting is November 17th, and if you have some ideas on the subject, they're welcome. Let village trustees or Harbor Commission members know your thoughts. We hope to have an interview on the subject on a future program. Christina?
A bit of a scare for Metro North commuters on an eastbound train last week. A fire stopped the train. With the details, here is Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Sven Oehme.
On Monday of last week, the 6:21 p.m. train from Grand Central to Harrison became disabled by a fire in a third rail fuse box. The incident happened just before the train reached its first stop at the Mount Vernon East station. On board the train were 600 passengers, none of whom were injured. The train was stopped at the station on the track as the power had to be shut off. The 600 passengers on this rush hour train were let off at the station, and they were picked up about 10 minutes later by another train. The train itself was later towed to Stamford, where Metro North operates a rail yard.
Interestingly, Christina, I was on that train, and it spent about 45 minutes or so in Mount Vernon before we all had to get off, cross the tracks, and get on another train and head up to Mamaroneck.
I had some excitement on the way home.
But fortunately, nobody was injured.
That's good. If you're a tennis player or you'd like to learn this fall and winter, you can. There is a tennis court year-round in the village of Mamaroneck at the Harborview Racket Club. There are 2 indoor red clay courts, and the temperature inside is always kept between 58 and 62 degrees. They are the bubble-like shaped tents located at Harbor Island Park. The first bubble is up with 4 courts inside and is now open for players. They have just begun the construction of the second bubble. When it is completed, there will be a total of 8 courts. The opening date is Monday, November 5th. The courts are open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. And the phone number there is 698-0264. This year's free youth tennis clinic begins November 9th, and it's open to children in the grades 6 through 12 who reside in the village of Mamaroneck or attend the Mamaroneck or Rhinebeck school system. For information, you can call 381-7865.
There's an election coming up about a week, and there's a candidate for county judge who stopped by the studio here. Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Joe Jablonowski has the interview.
Tell me about the position. How many slots are open this election?
There is one slot that is open, Joe, and it's a vacant seat, so there's no incumbent, and I'm one of the candidates for that position.
And you have one opponent?
That's correct.
Now, we were discussing earlier that the procedure for election to a justice does not allow you, any candidate, to take a particular stand on issues. Tell me about that.
Okay, the canon of ethics that requires that any sitting judge or anyone who aspires to that position, such as myself, not take a position on any issue that may come before him or her during the election process. And obviously every candidate for this position has to abide by that rule or face the consequences from the Ethics Commission.
But you can take a stand on certain community-wide issues, and I understand that you're active in a community effort for youthful drivers.
Right. Yes. Presently, I'm a legislator in the town of Greenburgh. In that community, as I think in all other communities in Westchester County, we've had an enormous amount of accidents with young drivers. It is my position, and I believe the position of many people in my community, and perhaps throughout Westchester, that the regulations for teen driving are not strict enough. And I am proposing legislation and pushing legislation that would require greater training for teens before they obtain a license.
But getting back to the race for justice for just a second, the things that are pertinent are the qualifications, and bar associations can weigh in on this particular issue. Tell me about a recent decision from one of the bar associations. You have some news for us.
I was very delighted today, as reported in today's editions of what used to be called Gannett on Westchester News. The Westchester Women's Bar Association found me well qualified for the position that I seek. That's a particularly unusual distinction for someone who's not a sitting judge. So since it's my peers, people who did an extensive background check and have reviewed my history in the courtroom, I am absolutely delighted to have that endorsement.
Well, Les, thanks very much for coming in and explaining this to us.
And it's my pleasure to be here, and I appreciate you letting me come.
Good luck with the election.
Thank you, sir.
Here's something different and fun to do with kids during the day on Halloween. Take them to the Emlyn Theater to see the one-hour Halloween show for children. The Hobnobbin' Goblins will be performed by a puppet company in goblin style with a delightful gang of silly spooks. There is a show at 11 a.m. and another show at 2 p.m. Tickets are available for $12. For reservations, call the Emlyn Theater at 698-0098.
One of our local restaurants may have had a small part in the good luck the Yankees had in closing days of the season. Here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Amy Schachtel with the details.
Harrison's own Joe Torre, manager of the Yankees, is enjoying his team's recent victory. We found out he also enjoys eating in one of Larchmont's best restaurants, La Reserva Trattoria. As he and his wife Alice often eat there, Torre states that when he does, the Yankees win. And when he doesn't, well, one time during the American League playoffs, when Torre and his wife went to dine, they found the eatery closed. But the owner, Carlo Coliani, came through in a pinch. He opened 2 hours ahead of schedule to accommodate the Yankee manager. I've never been a superstitious person, Torre said, but it does seem to be working. We don't know whether La Reserva sent takeout to San Diego. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Amy Schachtel.
Metro North commuters will soon be able to use the new northern exits of Grand Central Terminal as a major construction project nears completion. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Sven Oehme has the details.
Metro North commuters working north of Grand Central Station should mark January 15th, 1999 in red in their new calendar. That's the day Metro North is scheduled to open new exits north of Grand Central. 4 new entrances are scheduled to open, one at 47th Street and Madison Avenue next to the Chase Manhattan branch, a second one on Park Avenue and 48th Street, and 2 entrances in the east and west walks through the Hemsley building. The entrances lead to a system of walkways between and under the tracks, leading to the tracks close to the northern end of the platforms. $113 million were spent to build the system. The operating expenses are estimated at $3 million per year. In its first year of operation, the new part of this station, called Grand Central North, is only calculated to generate about $900,000 in additional revenues. The railroad expects that number to increase as more commuters will choose the train instead of their car to get to the city.
The World Series is over, but you can still get a bit of baseball flavor at the Home Plate Luncheonette on Mamaroneck Avenue. Proprietor Freddie Santiago tells us about how his establishment does work with the local Meals on Wheels program.
Congratulations to all you sports fans. Our team came in. Go Yankees. They're #1 now. Here in Mamaroneck, we're at the Home Plate Luncheonette, owned and run by Freddie Santiago. Freddie, who was a minor league pitcher himself in the Boston Red Sox, knows a lot about the game, but he also knows a lot about helping the community. I want to talk with Freddie and show you around his place. This is Freddie Santiago. How you doing, Freddie?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Well, you have the place of the moment right now. Our Yankees came in. We're proud of them.
4 in a row.
4 in a row?
Very happy.
Tell us.
Well, that was from '96. I made a nice board over there. Now I have to put a new one up front.
Wow.
And I'm very happy. I'm a long-time Yankee fan since I was a little kid, since I can remember.
I understand you have a background in baseball yourself.
Yes, I was signed by the Red Sox in the 70s, raised and born in the Bronx, and I ended up with the Red Sox.
Freddie, I understand you're doing some very good work in the area with a charitable organization called Meals on Wheels.
Yes. I started about 15 years ago. It's the elderly people that can't leave their homes, their apartments, and the village provide, half of their payments or whatever. And I make them a hot meal and a cold meal. Yeah.
That's good.
There's a lot of people out there that need them. Yeah.
I'm sure they appreciate it, and personally I appreciate stuff like that too. The Home Plate Luncheonette, located at 626 Mamaroneck Avenue, or call 698-7450. When you're there, choose your table and remember your heroes. See all the great sports memorabilia. The famous retired numbers are at every table. Here we are at the Home Plate Luncheonette, and in this place, I have a feeling when you say batter up, you're talking pancakes.
Right, exactly.
For LMC News, I'm Amy Schachtel.
The Mamaroneck School District is taking a look at the Internet, a real close look at the Internet. Last week, a presentation on Internet safety had dozens of parents in attendance. The object, how to better supervise children's activities online. Chat rooms with strangers, pornography sites, and other areas inappropriate for children. One observer said, just as you would drop your child off in a strange neighborhood or park, you should know exactly where your child is when they're using the Internet. And parents should be aware of software that helps keep the unwanted Internet activity to a minimum. We'll have more on this subject and hopefully an interview on a future program. Christina?
Did you know about a very local charity called Larchmont Friends of the Family? Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter recently attended a fundraiser for the volunteer effort and spoke with Larchmont Village Mayor Cheryl Louie.
The Larchmont Friends of the Family, how's it going? Have they been raising money? Is there anything new that we can learn about the benefit?
Just that it's a great organization that's been going for several years now, and I think it's one that the entire community supports because their cause is such a good one. When families are in crisis, particularly with young children, and in this day and age when extended family, grandparents, brothers, sisters might be in a whole different part of the country, to have a community organization that will step in and fill those roles that were traditionally filled by close family members is a very special thing, sometimes economically, sometimes with a carpool or a dinner. And the proceeds from this art auction will go towards that service.
That's very good. I'm glad to hear it. Thank you. Good evening. I'm Amy Schachtel for LMC News.
With a look at the latest unemployment numbers, here is Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Sven Oehme.
The jobless rate in New York State may have hit its low earlier this summer. The rate increased slightly by 0.1 of a percentage point to 5.2% from August to September. As a comparison, the national rate remained steady during the same period at 4.4%. For Westchester County, unemployment also remained unchanged at 3.3%, well below the national and the state average. Rockland's unemployment remained at 3.6%, while Putnam County registered a slight increase from 2.6 to 2.7%.
And that's it for our 7th program of a new season in our 9th year of doing this show. It's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, and this particular program is for the week of Halloween, 1998.
If you want to see this news show again, you can. It's on every weekday night at 7 p.m. or 7 a.m. in the morning. We record our show each week, and it's replayed on this channel, LMC-TV, Channel 14. And besides 7 p.m. each weekday night, you might catch us around 11 p.m.
Or if you want to request to see Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, you can call LMC-TV after 4 in the afternoon during the week at 698-6808 and ask to see the news show. They'll try to put it on at a time that's convenient for you to watch.
And this reminder, the program is an all-volunteer effort, and we could use a few more volunteers, either behind the scenes or as a reporter, or maybe you like to shoot video. We need you.
In short, if you want to volunteer to help us put this program on, we have something for you to do. Stop by some Thursday night in the LMC-TV studios and see how we do what we do.
The LMC-TV studios are in Mamaroneck High School, the Palmer Avenue side, just up the stairs from Walter's Hot Dog Stand. We get started around 7 p.m., and we would love to see you.
Also, if you have any comments or suggestions or some video of an event that you would like us to put on the news show, bring it to the studio or write to us at LMC News, care of LMC-TV, 1 Library Lane, Mamaroneck, 10543. Thanks again for watching Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Roger Norum.
And I'm Christina Bolger. We'll see you next time. And remember to vote next week. Happy
Halloween.
Don't forget to...
What do you think of John Glenn in space?
There's a big meeting coming next Tuesday at MHS on the Mamaroneck Harbor Dredging Project.
Larchmont seniors making the big move.
Ryetown and Mamaroneck Village wait for judges' ruling on who will fix the bridges in Ryeneck.
This program is getting old, 400 programs worth, and LMC-TV is going to re-release the best of.
Those stories and more, plus a look at or an interview with or something else on this edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News for the first week of November 1998 and our 400th program. I'm Roger Norum.
And I'm Alyssha MIro. Our top story, well, it's got to be the question of the week. Even as John Glenn has been launched into space, Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Christina Bolger took the 14 mobile unit to the Senior Center at Harbor Island Park to check on opinions of those who remember the day more than 30 years ago.
I'm here at the Senior Center in the village of Mamaroneck down at Harbor Island to get the reaction from John Glenn's peers about his return to space.
Terrific. I think in a hell of a lot of it. Very good. Terrific for a man his age.
I think so. I think he's too old to go up there. I think they should have a younger man get a crack at it. He's been up there once. Give somebody else another chance. A younger person.
Do you think it was risky sending him up?
Not really, no.
I think he shouldn't have taken this chance. He had one good one.
Think he should have
left it alone.
Think he should have quit while he was ahead?
Right. But he may surprise us, though.
Space.
I think there's a reason. It might be for medical purposes. And later on, we will know. I hope. Wish him lots of luck.
A lot of guts, I'll tell you that. 77 years old.
We've just heard mixed opinions from John Glenn's peers, but all in all, I'd say everyone is very pleased with his success. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Christina Bolger.
This news program may not look very old, but we are. Our first Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News program aired in 1989. And LMC-TV is going to bring back some memories with an airing of some of those early news programs. Here's a sampling of what you may see.
Hello and welcome to this first edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Roger Norum along with the LMC News team. Among our top stories, the Larchmont Motel is being sold, seniors in Larchmont with parking problems, the Mamaroneck Sewer Project, changes at the top in the Ryeneck School District, still looking for clues in the Larchmont double murders. First, the Larchmont Motel should belong to the town of Mamaroneck the day after New Year's. For more on that, here's LMC reporter Rita Blockton.
Did someone say we looked a little different way back when? Anyway, LMC-TV, we will be out with an advisory of just when they will be airing some of the programs from the early days of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. Alyssha?
Well, there's a battle over bridges in the Mamaroneck Village section of the town of Rye. The issue surfaced in the spring when Mamaroneck Village notified Rye Town of necessary repairs for the Jefferson Avenue Bridge. The town of Rye refused to accept liability for the damage. Papers were turned over to Justice Francis Nicolai last month. There are big bucks at stake. For example, the town of Rye is planning to spend more than $500,000 to replace the Berry Avenue Bridge. Under state law, towns are responsible for repairing bridges within their villages unless it can be shown that a village had previously maintained them. A judgment on responsibility should come soon and clear the waters.
It's about to happen in a month or two, dredging of Mamaroneck Harbor. But there are still some questions some may want to have answered. And there will be a public hearing next Tuesday night, November 10th, in the Mamaroneck High School auditorium. To find out more about the dredging, Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News spoke with Bonnie Ramawi. She chairs the Village Harbor Commission.
The Harbor Commission does a number of things. We are basically an advisory commission. We advise on all of the issues that have to do with the harbor. We advise our board of trustees, and we work with other boards and commissions too. Well, for example, we make recommendations to the building department to approve or disapprove applications for building marine structures. That's one of the things.
And docks and things of that nature.
Correct. Yeah.
And of course now the big item this time of year, and this, well, about every 10 or 15 years it comes up, dredging. What is the Harbor Commission and dredging? What is happening on that front?
Oh, that's a big, huge project, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about that.
Please.
You can basically put that project into sort of three groups of three entities are involved in that project. The federal government, which, by the way, got a big help from our Congresswoman, Nita Lowey, and I think in the numbers of about $6 million for the federal project. Well, the federal government wants to dredge the federal channel, which goes from the outer harbor into the east and west basin and the federal mooring areas. On top of that, the village of Mamaroneck wants to dredge the areas around the village docks and the beach. And of course, that'll be great because it'll improve the look of the beach and perhaps the depth. And on top of that, we have private individuals and clubs and marinas that will dredge their own sites. So it's a huge project, and it's taken a lot of work.
Does dredging, by removing, excuse me, a lot of the silt that is in various areas of the harbor and that, does that then bring cleaner water in as part of the action, or is that?
You know, that's a good question, but I've never thought of it as such.
It's primarily for boating.
It's primarily for boating, and you know, you might be right that what we are removing is siltation, because this is a continuous process. Since we're in a basin and we're at sort of the lower end of the Mamaroneck and Sheldrake and other rivers and tributaries, all of this siltation comes down, and this is a continuous thing. Some of that may not be perfectly clean. However, I understand that we've passed pretty much the regulatory agencies' stringent rules on toxicity and so on. There's been a lot of testing, and I think we've come through.
Now, this big a project, I mean, it's going to indeed cost millions. It doesn't come without controversy. What is the controversy with respect to the dredging?
Well, we're so close. We're so close, and we're still hopeful. I think we probably will dredge. However, there are a couple of small environmental groups that don't want to see any dredged material deposited in Long Island Sound. What that means, it's not only a problem for the village in this project, but it could close down the whole sound and jeopardize all of the harbors up and down Long Island Sound.
Is it normally, the dredging silt, is it normally deposited in Long Island Sound in areas?
From this area, we hope to do it because that's the cheapest way. We looked to the closest area, which is the western Long Island Sound off Stamford, and a little farther up is central Long Island Sound, which is off New Haven. The farther you go, the more expensive, of course.
It's very nice of Connecticut to let us dump Mamaroneck silt in their waters.
Yes, it's very nice, and they do make some money off of that, and that's part of their marine industry. They really do gain somewhat.
All right, I understand because of the controversy, and also other people have some opinions on this, there are going to be some public hearings in November. Tell us about those.
Right. The Army Corps of Engineers has extended the comment period to November 20th, and they're holding 3 public hearings, and we'll give you the particulars a little later.
The dates will appear on the screen here, but and at these hearings, who should come to them for what reason?
Okay, everybody should come. Everybody who cares about the harbor, who cares about the village of Mamaroneck, whether or not you're a boater. We're asking people to come out to these hearings and just give their point of view of why this is important for the village and for the community. You know, the harbor brings in a great deal of revenue.
Sure. These are going to be at the high school, I think, aren't they?
One is going to be at the high school, that's November 10th. One is going to be at Stony Brook, I believe that's on the 4th of November. on the 5th of November, it's in Connecticut in Milford.
Well, the one most people will be able to make is the one November 10th at the high school.
Yes.
And everyone
Yes,
should
of
attend.
course.
And if they want to find out more information, they can call your number that's appearing on the screen.
Yes, and that will be the project manager of the Army Corps of Engineers. He'll give you the particulars, he'll give you directions, any information you want to have.
All right. So all the ins and outs of dredging, that it really is going to be a massive. How long is it going to take?
Well,
Expected to take.
Yes. Well, if all goes well, we're hoping to begin in early January, and we're hoping not to move in too much into the boating season. Maybe by early May, mid-May, if we're lucky.
All right. Well, Bonnie, thanks for being with us on Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, and good luck on the Harbor Commission.
It's been a real pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Well, while we're on the subject of Harbor Island, it seems some students from Mamaroneck High School's Apple program took a field trip to the park, and Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Christina Bolger took her camera and microphone.
Do you know what an Apple student is? Well, no, they're not a group of students that run around giving teachers an apple a day. They are a very special group of students, however. We're here in the village of Mamaroneck at Harbor Island to find out all about the Apple students. This is Tom Gifford, the science teacher at Mamaroneck High School. Tom, could you tell me, what does Apple stand for?
Apple stands for a place where people learn excellence.
Okay, and are there any prerequisites to be in the Apple group?
Yes, the students had to have made a decision to change their lives. They've been tired of the way they've been performing, and I really have to give them a lot of credit and respect, because at that age to be able to make a decision like that, I think is pretty impressive.
Why down here at Harbor Island?
John called me, John Zappala, called and said that he had the possibility of a project to work on at the harbor, and I really jumped at it because it's a great way to introduce the kids to kind of real life stuff.
Why did you join?
Well, because for the past couple weeks we've been grabbing specimens of life from the harbor and stuff, and we've been studying them in class, and that's about it. We've been starting to know.
Why did you join, and what have you learned?
Learn about all different kinds of specimens. We have all these great things in this tank, and bunches of different kinds of fish and all kinds of living organisms, and lots of mussels and clams, and it just shows how all these, one life lives off of another life, and they all eat, all the organisms at the bottom of the tank. And we got some sea robins, some flounders.
Is that what these fish are here?
Sea robins, yeah.
I understand everyone has a specific organism that they're studying. What are you studying?
The Spartina, which is the grass that's all along the shore of the harbor, which usually it's a main source for like reproduction and stuff, because it pulls in all of the detritus from the water, which is all the dead stuff, and the living stuff feed on the detritus through the grass.
I'm here with the Assistant Harbor Master, John Zappala. We're all familiar with John. He's been very helpful with the students, instrumental, you might say. John, what's in this future of the students and their studies?
Right. The whole purpose of this is a program that we started years ago called CWAS, Sound Environmental Activities Watershed Alliance School Partnerships. Susie Oppenheimer, Paul Noto were all part of the Long Island Sound study, and they realized, well, if we don't educate the people, the public, nobody's going to understand what's going on in this water and what value it is to us, because we all live in a watershed. Working with the students, they're studying the biotic, the living, and the abiotic, the non-living creatures and substances in the water that influences this harbor. So each of these students will be studying creatures. These are just preliminary observations they're making, and then during the school year they will add to their base of knowledge, and then in the spring we're going to come up with some designs, programs. What can we actually do to help improve the quality of the water, the watershed where we live? And some of the abiotic physical factors that we'll be studying are, can I go along the line, what kind of things we'll be studying?
We'll be studying ammonia and nitrogen.
The pH scale of the water.
Copper, silica, man-made pollutions in the washroom.
Very good. So we have a whole list of things that we're going to be trying to correlate and put together so we have a better understanding of how important this watershed is to us.
Thank you, John. Well, I think everyone now knows what an Apple student is and what they do. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Christina Bolger.
Mamaroneck Village offices are on the move, at least a good many of them, moving to the ground floor of the new Regatta condominium apartment complex at the foot of Mamaroneck Avenue, next to the Dime Savings Bank. The Regatta was built on the site of the burned-out stores left from a huge fire in the winter of 1983. This will leave a lot of room in the old Village Hall for the police department, building department, fire inspector, the court clerk, and village justice offices. And Mamaroneck Village Hall is being closed this Friday, November 6th, and next Monday, November 9th. It's to make the move a little easier on everyone. One person who's really happy, Gloria Posha-Pritz, the village historian. There will now be space for keeping historical documents relating to the village. Mrs. Pritz said she's been storing documents and records in her home for years and now hopes to be able to use the archive center in her new office. By the way, the word is there are still some condominium apartments available in the Regatta complex, with prices ranging between $112,000 and $252,000.
The Larchmont seniors are moving, and with the details, here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Glenna Gray.
The Larchmont Senior Citizen weekly activities will take place at the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 1156 Hall, located at 1288 Boston Post Road. Monday, exercises, bingo, and ask the nurse. Tuesday, sewing and crafts and bridge. Wednesday, painting. Thursday, bridge. Friday, live music and entertainment. Monthly luncheons and birthday parties. For further information, call 381-7840. Diane Fajan will lead an exercise session designed to prevent osteoporosis on November 6th and November 13th from 1 until 2 p.m. Make sure you get there. The Village of Mamaroneck's Recreation Department is sponsoring a trip to the Taj Mahal Casino in Atlantic City on Sunday, November 15th. Departure by bus will be from Harbor Island Park at 7:15 a.m. The bus will return at 7:15 p.m. Registration is $25. Checks should be made payable to Belmont Tours. For further information, call 777-7784.
The Mamaroneck Village Board of Trustees did a lot of approving and reappointing on October 13th. The capital fund of Mamaroneck Village was approved. The fund supports the purchase of a new police vehicle for $92,125, furniture for village offices at the Regatta, pickup trucks, a hot tar machine, sidewalk and curb repairs, computer software for the police department, sewer repairs, dredging, a street sweeper, and other miscellaneous items. The bond resolution for $755,000 for water system improvements was also approved. The bond funds will be used toward a transmission main and a caustic soda treatment facility. Umbrella Day sales sponsored by the Mamaroneck Chamber of Commerce were approved as well. The dates will be in April, June, August, and October of 1999. And at last, Sonny Goldberg was reappointed as a member of the Advisory Committee to the Larchmont Mamaroneck Cable TV Board of Control for a 2-year term. Congratulations.
The Emlyn Theater is hopping, and Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Amy Schachtel went to a recent performance there and also tells us what's ahead at the Emlyn.
The Emlyn Theater in Mamaroneck presented the very talented Dee Karstensen. I was there and enjoyed seeing and hearing a terrific new artist. Miss Karstensen is a multifaceted performer, using the harp as other singer-songwriters use a guitar.
I still hear him say, so clear in my ear, like it was today.
Other upcoming events at the Emlyn include the American Ballet Theater November 1st, singer Karen Akers November 13th and 14th, whose cabaret style is warm and melodic. The Leon Redbone Christmas Special, December 18th and 19th, a blues man you ought to see. For those who love music, the Emlyn Theater in Mamaroneck. It's a terrific place to see a show. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Amy Schachtel.
Well, we've hit 400 shows and so many memories. It's been over 9 years since we began the Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News program right here in the LMC-TV studios. And we've seen many faces come in and out of our doors. We've also shared many stories. And they've all been about you and for you. We thank you for tuning into our news program week after week and year after year. We hope you keep tuning in and share many more shows with us. And if you're interested in volunteering,
here are some of the reporter beats we could use some help on. Mamaroneck School District, Rye Neck School District, the Area Police Blotter, the Scholastic Sports Beat, as well as the Adult Area Sports Beat, the Larchmont Village Scene, the Mamaroneck Village Scene, and an area political reporter. They'd all be great to have on this program. If you have any interest in any specific aspect of life in this community, we would like your help, and we would help you get started reporting on it. Besides being a great give back to the community, it's a lot of fun. We'll give you more details near the end of this program.
well, the cost of eating is going up, at least in Westchester County. There's a new study out on the subject, and Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Sven Oehme took a look and has the details.
Food prices in Westchester County reached an all-time high in September, according to the County Department of Consumer Protection. Based on a survey of food products, the department released a report that stated the increase. From July to September, the average weekly cost to feed a family of 4 increased by 1.8% or $2.38 to a total of $132.89. During the 12-month period from September of last year to this September, the Department of Consumer Protection recorded a 5% increase. To find out about any price changes, the department surveyed 16 supermarkets and looked at 46 food items in 4 food groups: groceries, dairy products, produce, and meat. During the months of September, the price of dairy products shot up by 8.8%. And during the same period, the price for vegetables and fruit fell by 10%. Looking at your overall budget, you're not likely to have noticed the increase, as gas prices have slipped by 20 cents since October of last year. The Department of Consumer Protection also surveyed the price of heating oil in the county. Here, an increase of 1.9% from September to October was recorded, but current prices are still 12 cents per gallon below last year's levels.
Larchmont's known for consignment shops, and 2 of those stores are operated for charities. The Golden Shoestring is run by the Junior League, and the Discovery Shop has proceeds going to the American Cancer Society. Recently, we stopped by the Discovery Shop and found a great collection to choose from, and some very good values, too.
Well, I got involved in working in this store because my brother died of cancer, and I wanted to be able to do something. And I think it's a very worthwhile cause. I enjoy coming to the store. We have now opened a furniture department, and since we've done that, the store is doing much better. And also, you have an opportunity to meet nice people and work with very nice volunteers also.
Well, it takes a nice person to be doing good work like you are.
Come and discover us now. And we're at 139 Larchmont Avenue, 834-4242.
Thank you very much. And do come and make this great discovery, too. And a great cause will be helped as well. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Amy Schachtel.
Well, it's flu season, and you know what that means. Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Christina Bolger explains.
Senior citizens and others who may be at high risk of complications if they get the flu should protect themselves against this year's influenza by receiving a flu shot. Dr. Harold Adele, Health Department Commissioner, also recommends that healthcare workers and pregnant women in their 2nd and 3rd trimesters to also get the shot. This year's vaccine is aimed at combating 3 different strains of influenza. Health officials strongly urge seniors to also receive the pneumococcal vaccination, which only has to be administered once in a person's lifetime and protects against the majority of strains of pneumococcal bacteria that cause the most serious forms of pneumonia. The good news is that if you have Medicare, these 2 shots are free. Otherwise, the flu shot costs $10 and the pneumococcal vaccine is $20. You can receive both shots on the same day. Immunizations will be given on Thursday, November 5th, between the hours of 1 and 3 p.m. at the Larchmont Mamaroneck Seniors Community Service Center, located on 740 Boston Post Road in Mamaroneck. Call 381-7840 to make an appointment. For additional dates and locations, call the Health Department at 637-4700. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Christina Bolger.
The annual race we all look forward to is just about here. Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Glenna has the story.
The annual road race sponsored by the Mamaroneck Village Recreation Department is scheduled for November 22nd. The 1 mile race is open to children 12 years of age and under. The 5 mile race is open to all ages in 9 divisions. Pre-registration fee is $10 and it's $17 for race day registration. Pre-registration is from November 2nd through Thursday, November 19th by 4 p.m. All pre-registrants will receive a t-shirt. The pavilion located in Harbor Island Park will be open from Monday the 2nd through Thursday the 19th. Race time is 10 a.m. sharp for 5 milers and 10:15 sharp for the 1 milers. For further information, call 777-7784.
And that's it for our 8th program of this season, our 400th since we've been doing these, in our 9th year of doing this show. And it just about happens to be the 400th show since we started this program a decade ago.
If you want to see this new show again, you can. It's on every weekday night at 7 p.m. We record one show each week and it's replayed on this channel, LMC-TV Channel 14, and again at around 7 a.m.
Or if you want to request to see it, you can. Call LMC-TV after 4 in the afternoon during the week at 698-6808 and ask to see the new show. They'll try to put it on at a time that's convenient for you to watch.
And this reminder, the program is an all-volunteer effort, and we could use a few more volunteers. It could be behind the scenes or as a reporter, or maybe you like to shoot video. We need you.
In short, if you want to volunteer to help us put this program on, we have something for you to do. Stop by some Thursday night in the LMC TV studios and see what we do and how we do what we do.
The LMC TV studios are in the Mamaroneck High School, the Palmer Avenue side, just up the stairs across the landmark Walter's hot dog stand. We get started around 7:30 p.m. and we'd love to see you.
Also, if you have any comments or suggestions or some video of an event that you would like us to put on this new show, bring it to our studio or write to us at LMC News in care of LMC TV, 1 Library Lane, Mamaroneck, 10543. Thanks for watching Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Roger Norum.
And I'm Alyssha MIro. We'll see you next time.
And if you're watching this on Monday, don't forget to vote tomorrow, Election Day, our 400th show.
deadly traffic accident on Fenimore Road stuns residents.
A new water main is coming to Mamaroneck.
FBI statistics show an increase in crime for Mamaroneck Village.
The Hammock skating rink gets some improvements.
Getting closer to Thanksgiving, the turkey trot in Mamaroneck Village is coming up soon.
And we'll look at Larchmont's Halloween parade. Those stories and more on this edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. It's our 36th show for the year in our 9th year of producing this program. I'm Sven Oehme.
And I'm Alyssha MIro. Our top story. A Mamaroneck woman struck by a car in Mamaroneck Village 2 weeks ago has died from her injuries. Jennifer Smith of 313 Palmer Avenue was hit by a 1998 Toyota as she walked across the street at Fenimore Road and Livingston Avenue around 7:15 p.m. on October 28th. Mr. Arthur Gelbard, 51, from Scarsdale, said he didn't realize he hit a person until he got out of the car at the scene. Ms. Smith was wearing dark clothing at the time of the evening accident. Mr. Gelbard and his passenger were uninjured and no charges have been filed. Ms. Smith was taken to Sound Shore Medical Center of Westchester in New Rochelle, where she later died of her injuries. Our thoughts and prayers are with Ms. Smith's family.
In the elections on November 3rd, local incumbents fared well and were able to regain their posts. Congressman Nita Lowy was re-elected in the 18th Congressional District. Lowy, a Democrat, received 83% of the votes. In the 85th State Assembly District, incumbent state legislator Ronald Tochi, a Democrat, was re-elected. State Senator Susie Oppenheimer, a Democrat and former mayor of Mamaroneck, won an 8th term representing the 36th State Senate District. In Mamaroneck, a long tradition will end as 59% of the voters supported moving the village board elections from March to November's election day.
To update us on developments in the town of Mamaroneck, Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Glenna Gray spoke with Town Councilman Barry Weprin.
Well, as you know, the town is in the process of going through our budget season, where we're now doing the budget for, the 1999 calendar year. The town is on a calendar year budget, and the initial budget proposal was actually to have a 0% tax increase, because even though spending has gone up in the town by a few percent, we've had additional revenues from our recreational programs. As you know, the pools were expanded this year, and so there's a lot more people that join the pool, and we have more revenue there.
Yes.
And also from our share of the county sales tax.
Now, how does that sales tax affect us, or will it affect us?
Well, the town in Westchester County is unique in that 1/2 of the sales tax is returned to certain municipalities in Westchester, almost as a sort of revenue sharing. And one of the problems is, as you know, there's a proposal to eliminate the sales tax on clothing, which we think is a good idea. But the problem is, if they eliminate the sales tax on clothing, then we have no other source to make up that revenue other than to raise property taxes.
And we're the only county in New York State that has this arrangement.
That's true, and that's why this year, if we didn't have the sales tax on clothing, instead of having a 0% tax increase, we would actually have to increase the property taxes to make up for the lack of the sales taxes. And so our proposal is that if the state legislature is going to permanently mandate that there be no sales tax on certain types of clothing, that they ought to make up the revenue to the jurisdictions that are losing the revenue, because it's not really fair to force property taxes to be raised to make up for that revenue. It sort of defeats the purpose of eliminating the sales tax.
Mm-hmm. So how is reassessment coming along?
Well, the reassessment committee that was set up is still working very hard and having meetings. We haven't really had a lot of discussions at the town board level yet about reassessment. There are a number of hard issues in connection with reassessment, primarily how you treat commercial properties, what the villages are going to do. As you know, if the town reassesses, that would cover all of the village of Larchmont, which could then adopt our assessment roles. But the village of Mamaroneck is only 2/3 in the town of Mamaroneck and 1/3 in the town of Rye, and so they'd have the decision to make as to what they're going to do.
So I see you're very, very busy, and so every citizen should come out to their board meetings to find out what is going on in the village of Mamaroneck, in the village of Larchmont, and the town of Mamaroneck.
Yes.
Thank you for coming up and giving us an update. It's always very important.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
New 8-inch water main is currently being constructed along Arlington Street between Grand Terrace and Travers Avenue in Mamaroneck Village. The project is scheduled for 30 workdays. The new 8-inch main replaces an old 2-inch main. Westchester Joint Waterworks is replacing the water main to prevent breaks and other problems, but also to increase the water pressure in fire hydrants. The water in the area may be shut off towards the end of the construction when the new main is activated. Local residents will get 48 hours notice of the shutoff. In preparation for the installation of the new water main, a 5 feet deep and 3 feet wide trench is being excavated on Arlington Street. During the construction, parking will not be allowed on the street. And anyone who has questions regarding the construction of the water main can call Diana Arthur of Westchester Joint Waterworks at 698-3500.
Well, the restoration of the Veterans Memorial in Tompkins Park is underway. Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Christina Bolger took a look at the memorial.
The Veterans Memorial Monument, located in the Tompkins Avenue Park, has been in desperate need of restoration. This park is across the street from the Evelyn Court Co-op building. 6 months ago, Bert Maroli, the president of their board of directors, requested permission from the village of Mamaroneck to clean the monument, which was erected after World War I in 1919. Mayor Joseph Lanza suggested he contact Paul Torpy, the commander of the American Legion in Mamaroneck, as he too had expressed interest in restoring the memorial. Mr. Torpy said he asked the village for assistance 4 years ago. The estimated cost is $3,500. Fortunately, the American Legion and the residents from the Evelyn Court have raised enough money to begin the restoration of this historical monument. Unfortunately, however, more money is still needed. If you would like to make a donation, you can send it to the Restoration Committee, American Legion, Post 90, P.O. Box 90, Mamaroneck, New York, 10543. I stopped by the Veterans Memorial at Tompkins Avenue Park to see how the restoration process is coming along.
Well, I'm here with Doug DePietro of the Rye Monument Works Company in Rye, New York, and you're restoring this beautiful memorial. How long will it take to restore it?
Maybe several more days. We've been working on it about 3 or 4 days now, maybe several more days. We're trying to get the finish of the bronze exact, and that takes a lot of time. But it was in pretty hard condition, this memorial, but it's a beautiful, and today they had to replace it. You would need a considerable sum of money to do it.
So approximately how much would it cost to?
Probably, I would say $100,000 to $200,000 in there someplace.
To do another one like this?
Another one, yes, exactly. Like cutting granite in the round is extremely expensive.
What type of restoration work was necessary to restore this?
Well, we had to sandblast the whole entire memorial with a fine white sand, including the plaques that had to be done with even a lighter sand. That in turn gets all the dirt off the surface of the monument. Being it had no polish on it, you can do it like that, okay? I would say the plaques were really what I was concerned about, being that they were so old. But bronze is timeless, just like granite. So there's two combinations of the best materials you can have.
And how long will this facelift last?
I would say approximately 50 years.
Oh, will any maintenance be required?
Other than occasionally wash it down with a power washer, no. But when the plaque starts turning green, that's the Pitnart finish that actually protects the bronze. But unfortunately, it becomes unsightly after so many years. So people usually do something like this along the way and try to restore it. And the names will be very visible now, and people will be able to see relatives. And I've seen families here. I didn't know any of these gentlemen naturally, but I've seen several names here that are familiar with me, but people I've done work for in the last 25, 30 years.
The cost of this restoration was made possible through the donations from the American Legion and the residents of Evelyn Court. As I mentioned earlier, donations are still needed. Now, Doug and his son Stephen have done an incredible job in restoring this monument that honors the hundreds of men from our community that served in World War I. If you'd like to come and see this memorial, it's located on East Boston Post Road near Applebee's Restaurant in the village of Mamaroneck. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Christina Bolger.
Fourth graders get a look into the past as they visit the old schoolhouse. With more on the story, here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Glenna Gray.
A Mamaroneck Avenue school teacher made a recent visit to the village's one-room schoolhouse on Boston Post Road. Her students had an opportunity to learn about the past and to appreciate their school on Mamaroneck Avenue. Ms. Broderick believes history tends to be abstract. However, a visit to this 1816 structure gave the students a new look at the past. The school was once used for a family home, and a descendant of the Seaman family returned the structure to the village in 1995. Mr. William Frazier, a member of the Historical Society who is doing the bulk of the renovation, showed the children how the belfry was built, and he explained other things to the children. What a wonderful experience for them. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, this is Glenna Gray.
Hommock's Park Ice Rink, run by the Town Recreation Department, says goodbye to those days of changing in tents thanks to 2 new locker rooms. There are now 4 locker rooms for residents to use. The locker rooms are part of a $175,000 project that added a storage area for equipment and a garage for the rink's new Zamboni. Next year, plans call for the rink to get a $40,000 insulated roof, a skate sharpening machine, new bleachers, and a refurbished ticket booth. Hommock's is one of the most popular rinks in Westchester and is home to the Mamaroneck High School varsity and junior varsity hockey teams. About 1,400 people took skating lessons at the rink last year, and there were 260 participants in youth hockey. If you'd like to try the ice, there are skating sessions, a skating school, and youth hockey programs.
So get out the skates.
That's right, it's the season.
With what's likely to be the last story on Lyme disease for this year, here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Kathryn Caywood.
With the leaves changing colors and the pleasant temperatures, a lot of us are enjoying the outdoors. However, we need to remember that the ticks that spread Lyme disease are still outdoors with us. Deer ticks are a lot smaller than dog ticks, so wearing light-colored clothing makes them easier to spot, and wearing tightly woven clothing makes it more difficult for the ticks to latch onto our skin. When you're walking in the grass or in the woods, the health department recommends wearing a long-sleeved shirt which is tucked into your pants and then tucking your pants into your socks. You can also spray your clothing with insect repellent that contains either DEET or permethrin. If you see a tick on your body, just get a pair of fine-tipped tweezers and grasp the tick as closely as possible to your skin. Then pull it steadily until it comes off and apply antiseptic to that part of your skin. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Kathryn Caywood.
Well, parking at the county airport is frequently difficult because of a lack of spaces, but that's about to change. With the story, here's Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Glenna Gray.
The need for a garage with 1,600 spaces at the Westchester Airport was predicted in the 1980s. Now, in 1995, there appears to be a need for more parking space at the airport. County Executive Andy Spano is against the expansion of the airport. There is an extra lot which is used for overflow times such as holidays and emergencies. In addition to peak periods, parking is at a premium. The airport, which offers 1,097 spaces. The garage was built by a private entity. The county gets 6% of the profits from the operation of it and 45% of the profits from any additional lots, according to the Journal News. Daily parking sections have rates have increased from $12 in 1994 to $14.60. The rates are at the overflow lot are the same.
Village offices in Mamaroneck were scheduled to move to the regatta at about this time, but the move has been postponed. With many things already packed in boxes, village employees will have to wait until November 20th when the move is now scheduled. To accommodate the move, village offices will be closed November 20th, Friday, and November 23rd, a Monday.
The Junior League of Westchester on the Sound is a non-for-profit organization, and Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Christina Bolger spoke with its president, Susan Kitchen.
I must say, thinking about coming in here to talk with you tonight, I was trying to decide out of the many things we do what I could share with you. One example of the projects we do is we have a long-term relationship with the Mamaroneck Cap Center. And we do a variety of things for them, including renovation projects. Hands-on for Head Start is a reading program which we had done for a number of years there. That relationship is very long, and we have lots of little pieces to it. We help them out wherever we can. Mm-hmm. We also occasionally start new projects that we feel that the community needs or could benefit from, and then we launch them, get them on their feet, and pass them over to the community, and they have a life of their own. Mm-hmm. And two of those projects are the local involvement for the environment, the Life Center, mm-hmm. was established by the Junior League, mm-hmm. and the Youth Employment Service at Mamaroneck High School was also established by the Junior League. Mm-hmm. So those are some of the types of projects.
How do you fund these projects?
Well, our biggest fundraiser is the Golden Shoestring. You may have come in to visit us.
In Larchmont, yes.
It's right on Larchmont Avenue, and it's a tremendously successful fundraiser for our organization, but it's also a community service. It provides quality clothing and housewares and bric-a-brac to mm-hmm.
People in our community, and as well as providing funding for all these projects we do for the community. Is there any training involved in being in the Junior League?
There certainly is, and I'm delighted you asked that, because in fact training, leadership training and trained volunteers is a big part of our mission. In the process of doing all these projects for the community, we are also training our members to we're training our members to do their jobs, but also to to become leaders in the community, mm-hmm. Otherwise formal and informal training.
If someone would like to join the Junior League, is there a number that they can call or a place they can go?
They could visit us at the Golden Shoestring. Our office is located right there, and the number is 833-2119.
Well, thank you, Susan, very much.
There is no end to building proposals for David's Island. Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Kathryn Caywood tells us about the latest plans.
The City of New Rochelle has yet another waterfront plan for David's Island. With this new plan, at least 40% of the island would have to be open space, and at least 25% would have to be publicly accessible. On the sides of the island that face the mainland, buildings could be 35 feet tall, and greenery would have to be 30 feet tall in 10 years. Behind this, there could be townhouses, and further inland, where there are tall maples and oak trees, there could be 8-story buildings. On the southeast side of the island, where there aren't many trees, a developer could build 8-story buildings that would have fabulous views of the Sound, yet still be almost completely hidden from the mainland. The predictions are that as many as slightly over 1,000 homes or apartments could be built here. By when and by whom, we don't yet know, but we'll keep you posted on the newest developments. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, this is Kathryn Caywood.
According to crime statistics compiled by the FBI for 1996, serious crimes increased in Mamaroneck Village from 566 to 642. The FBI considers as serious crimes murder, forcible rape, robbery, aggravated assault, burglary, larceny, and motor vehicle theft. FBI statistics for 1997 are not yet available.
And here's a look at the Westchester real estate market. According to numbers released by the New York State Association of Realtors, sales of homes in Westchester County increased by 13% when comparing sales in September of 1997 to September of this year. 561 homes were sold in 1997 compared to 634 in September of this year. The average price of homes increased by 15.9%. In September of 1997, the average selling price of homes in Westchester County was $369,000, while this year it was up to almost $428,000.
While John Glenn was still orbiting in Space Shuttle Discovery, here in Mamaroneck, Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Christina Bolger asked residents, is it worth it to go into space?
Yes, I do.
And why?
Well, I think it proves that people like myself can still have the stamina, and it's good for the elderly people, and it also is good for the country.
Yes.
And why?
What do you say, going back into space with Glenn?
Yes.
Oh, it shows that older people can still do anything the younger one can do, if they put their mind to it.
Well, I'm curious, so I think it's worth it. My husband doesn't think so. He thinks we're spending too much money on something which doesn't amount to anything, but I'm curious, so I would like to know what's going on up there.
Yes.
And why?
Because we have something to explore, something different, and maybe we have some kind of resource in there to do something in the future.
At this time of age, I don't think so.
Why not?
Why not? I guess we could always put our money to better use than...
Well, the majority of people think it was worth it to go back into space. For Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, I'm Christina Bolger.
As we get closer to Thanksgiving Day, it's time for the annual turkey trot in Mamaroneck Village. This year, the turkey trot will take place on November 22nd. A 5-mile race gets underway at 10 a.m. It is open to all ages in 9 divisions. And in addition, there's a 1-mile gobblers race that starts at 10:15 a.m. for children 12 and under.
Here are the details that you need to know if you plan to participate in the turkey trot. Anyone interested should register before November 19th at the Recreation Office in Harbor Island Park. Those who register before the 19th will receive a t-shirt. On the day of the race, registration is possible between 8:45 and 9:30 a.m. The registration fee is $10 for early registration and $17 on the day of the race. After the race, hot soup will be served to all runners. If you didn't have a chance to see the Larchmont Halloween Parade, thanks to Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News reporter Christina Bolger, here's a look at the parade and also some Halloween highlights taped at the Emmeline in Mamaroneck.
Well, it's October 31st, and you know what that means. It's Halloween. We're here in Larchmont at the Ragamuffin Parade to watch the children in our community strut their stuff. There's so many different costumes here and children of all ages. Let's talk to them and see what they are looking forward to about Halloween. Hi, what's your name?
Victoria.
This is a beautiful costume, Victoria. What are you?
A witch.
A witch? You're a beautiful witch. How old are you?
6.
And are you excited about the parade?
Yes.
You're beautiful. Are you a good witch?
Yes.
Wow, how old are you?
7.
Those are beautiful eyelashes you have. What's your favorite candy?
I would say a Hershey's Kiss.
A Hershey's Kiss? Well, I hope you get lots of kisses for Halloween.
I got 1.
You got 1? Well, Halloween's just started, so I'm sure you'll get a lot more.
Yeah.
Thank you. Dalmatians, bats, tigers, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Even the adults get in the spirit. Look how creative these costumes are. He's got the moon and the stars on his hat. Ooh. Hi. Ooh, and a fireman. Happy Halloween. Oh, and there's a little doctor. Ooh, it's a dinosaur. Oh, look at the poodle skirt. Isn't she adorable? Now that's what I call pretty in purple.
I don't see Sarah.
There's little angel.
I think we have the youngest fireman here in Larchmont. Hi.
Hello.
I think he's really enjoying his lollipop. Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Griffin.
Jeffrey?
Griffin.
Oh. Happy Halloween. And what's your name?
Matthew.
And what's your name?
Ellen.
Ellen, are you a princess? Me too. How old are you?
3.
And what's your favorite candy?
A lollipop.
What's your name?
Kimmy.
What is it?
Kimmy.
Kimmy. And how old are you?
3.
3? Wow. Did you have fun in the parade?
Yeah.
And what's your favorite candy?
Gum.
Gum? I can see you're enjoying some. You have some gum now.
They fall away. But when I hold on to the knees and the hands like this, then it doesn't really fall away that badly. It goes like this. And then I can pull up this. And this is a very traditional marionette that people have been using for, probably around 100 years. And this kind of puppet is found in puppet textbooks.
No success yet.
Well, I hope you enjoyed watching the Ragamuffin Parade that took place in the village of Larchmont, and also the Halloween highlights from the events that took place in the village of Mamaroneck. One thing our community certainly knows how to do is celebrate Halloween.
And that's it for this week's edition of Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. You can watch the news show Monday through Friday at about 7 in the evening.
Or you can request it on LMC's Request TV. Just call the Palmer Avenue studio at 698-6808 and request that the news show be put on the air on one of LMC TV's channels. It may just be a couple of minutes until the show comes on, especially for you.
All of us who work on this program are volunteers. No one on this show is employed by LMC TV. As there's a lot of work involved in doing the news show, we always have room for new people who'd like to join us. It's a fun way to get involved in community affairs, and in addition, you can learn a lot about television news.
Every Thursday night, we meet at about 7 p.m. and work on this news program, taping the various segments that make up the final show that you watch later.
You'll find us in LMC TV's Palmer Avenue studio, which is in the Mamaroneck High School building, right up the stairs from Walter's Hot Dog Stand on Palmer Avenue. Also, if you have a story or some video which you think we might like to use on this program, come by on a Thursday night and we'll most likely use your story.
Or if you have any comments, suggestions, or some criticism, but can't come on a Thursday night, you can also send us a letter. The address, Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News, care of LMC TV, 1 Library Lane, Mamaroneck, New York, 10543.
Thanks for sharing your time with us watching Larchmont Mamaroneck Community News. I'm Sven Oehme.
And I'm Alyssha MIro. We'll see you next week. Oh, that was a nice close. I said Mamaroneck, New York correctly.
Good.